Good morning, guys. Welcome back. We're to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna be working on sandblasting some more stuff. So did some searching. The last video, I think it was the last video, the last sandblasting video, I filmed yesterday. We got some stuff started on sandblasting yesterday, and was having issues with our little sandblasting gun siphon setup. So did some searching on YouTube to try to figure out a better system as far as the siphon tube goes, and all that type of stuff. So I think we come up with something. We found a guy, I don't remember his name or channel name or anything, but a guy on YouTube was using, I think, 1/2 inch or 1 inch PVC pipe glued together with an extra vent tube. So it had a siphon tube and a vent tube. So we're gonna try that. So right now we need to go to Lowe's and get some fittings anyway to hook up our air dryer. So figured we would get some pipe, some PVC pipe, and we'll try that. So anyway, I guess I'm gonna look and see if we have any glue for PVC pipe, and well, I guess we'll run to Lowe's and see what we can pick up. Alrighty guys, so we've made it here to Lowe's. I'm gonna run in here, like I said, I'm gonna pick up some PVC. I believe 1/2 inch, if I remember correctly. I have everything wrote down on a list on my phone. But pick up some PVC. I need some 3/8 to quarter sleeves. That way we can hook up our air dryer, and some quarter inch nipples. Yeah, 1/4 inch. So anyway, might need a few other things, but we'll look and we'll see what they got sometime or another. Probably not today. We're probably going to go to Little Rock and pick up a different kind of sandblasting gun, but we'll explain that later. I'm going to run in here, see what they got, see if they're added anything, and we'll get back home, and hopefully we can make some improvements to our blast cabinet. Alright guys, so it's the next day, and if you can't tell by our only one working regular shop lights, it's been raining, it's very humid, but anyway, pretty cool. But anyway, we picked up, I don't know if y'all could tell, but yesterday I was exhausted. I guess 7 hours of sleep in 3 days, probably not a good thing, but anyway, we picked up a bunch of fittings and our reducer sleeves here. We got some PVC. We're gonna try to build a new suction tube. We got a cap for that, and then we got a bunch of stuff to hopefully be able to hook up our air dryer here. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and work on that, and then we will well, I guess we'll go from there. So I'm gonna get started. Hopefully I got everything that I need, and we can go ahead and get started. But today we're gonna try to improve this this blast cabinet. I need to put the glove back in. That come out the other day, but I got 2 1/4 inch, 3/8 to 1/4 inch nipples, and then I got this, I don't even know what they call these, but anyway, we'll get started here, make sure I got everything, and if not, we can run to Lowe's here in a bit, and get whatever else it is that we need. Okay, so just to kind of show what we're doing here, we got that 3/8 to 1/4 sleeve there, and then that'll allow us to take our air fittings and then thread into here, because these are 3 3/8. So anyway, I'll get these on. I'll get all these Teflon taped and everything. That way, hopefully they don't leak. Get them tightened on there, and we'll try to get this mounted temporarily off to the side over there. Okay, yeah, so I took off this fitting that they supply. This is a 1/4 inch. And what I was able to do is I was able to take the reducer, thread into here, and then this line I was able to thread directly into it, and then just spin the body of this on to get everything tight. I tightened the reducer into the body of the housing here, and then spun it on to the to this airline, and was able to get it nice and tight. It doesn't move. So I've got Teflon there, Teflon, and then Teflon on these two. I got everything all nice and tight. Now it does stick out a bit, and I wish this stuff was on the front. These little releases for these, but it's not that big a deal for temporary. So anyway, we need to put the little beads in here. I guess that's what they are. I don't know. Need to put these in there in the filter. So we'll get those in and figure out what side it needs to go on, or both. But my grandpa's over here working on getting the PVC cut for the new siphon tube. While I was tightening those up, he pulled the siphon tube out, and this is what comes with this. So it's a tube in a tube, and this is supposed to be a vent through the walls there, and you can't see anything through it, so I don't know how that would vent. But when he gets these cut, I'll show y'all kind of what it is that we're going to be doing. Alright, so we cut these at 15 inches. The siphon tube they give you is 19, but I don't know if y'all noticed in the last video, it's hard to move it around inside the hopper because it's too tall. You got to tilt it, pull it up at an angle, and everything else. Just a pain. So we cut these at 15. What we're going to do, we're going to offset them 1 inch. We're going to drill a 5/16 hole in the inside of both of these, and then glue it together. So this will attach to our air fitting, and this will be like a vent tube, and then we'll cap the end of this. We got a cap over here. We'll line those two holes up, that way they can vent. And then the vent tube will be capped at the bottom. That way sand and stuff can't get in that way. And what that'll allow is that'll allow for air to kind of cycle through here and help pick up sand. So that's what we're going to do. But for this tube, I'll show you now. With this 1/2 inch tubing, it won't fit over the feed tube here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take over there, got a pointer now, over here on the bench grinder, and we're going to bevel the ends of those tubes, and then we'll take a heat gun or something, heat this up and kind of stretch it out. That way we can get our tube in there, and then we'll take our hose clamp, throw on there. That way it doesn't go anywhere. So anyway, we're gonna get to need to mark these, drill our holes. Probably gonna drill our holes 1 inch on the short side, 2 inches on the other side, offset 1 inch, and then we'll take and we'll glue those together. Okay, so we took our 5/16, drilled a hole in each one, as you can see there. Lined them up. We just zip tied this together, that way it'll hold. And then we'll take, we got this. We can find our caulking gun. We'll use it, and then we'll put our cap on here. And then this end we'll bevel. That way hopefully it'll fit in our hose over there. and we should be good. Okay, so we actually remembered we let somebody borrow the caulking gun, and it hasn't returned. So anyway, we'll have to go get another one sometime. But luckily I have a hot glue gun. The guy we watched his video on, I wish I could find that video, but he used just a regular hot glue gun and glued his together. Should be fine. But luckily I had one in this PDR kit that I ordered online. So we'll get this all glued up, let this thing get heated up here, get it all glued together, and we'll probably glue our cap on as well. Just put a little bit of glue on it, that way if we need to take it off at some point, we can. The guy had made a pretty good point as far as like PVC gluing these caps on. He said if you ever have to get in there and clean that for some reason, then you know you got to cut the cap off and you got to redo this. So anyway, like I said, I'm gonna wait for this to warm up here, and then we'll get this all glued together. Alright, so I got it all glued up. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but I also glued our zip ties here. I need to glue the zip ties over here, but anyway, I don't know why, but yeah, I probably won't mess with them over here. But anyway, we got it all glued up. And what I did down here is I glued around the side of that hole. And the same thing over here, I glued around the side of it. And then I run over around the top and the bottom. That way it would kind of close that gap up. But being careful not to get anything, it's not going to focus, but being careful not to get anything inside of our tube. That's just from drilling. So just being careful of that. I'm gonna put two little dots of glue there. That way this cap shouldn't come off, but if we ever want to take it off, all we gotta do is pop that glue off there or cut it off or whatever, and it should pop right off. So I'm waiting for the glue to dry in a few places where it's thicker, like over here and under here. But after this dries, we will take it over here to the grinder, the bench grinder, get this beveled, and I'll also snip these ends on these two zip ties. I think we're just going to leave the zip ties here. It shouldn't hurt anything. So anyway, like I said, we're gonna snip these, and then here in a minute we'll take it over here and get this end beveled. That way it'll fit in that hose over there. Also guys, little tip here. So went ahead, cut our zip tie ends off, and I use side cutters to cut them with, but you know, you get these edges and they're always super sharp. What you can do is you can take a lighter and you can burn the ends of them like I've done here. I don't know if it'll focus. Burn those ends, that way it's not sharp at all. And if you cut them off close, you can actually burn them and then press them down, and it'll melt to the head of the zip tie, and you won't have to worry about anything coming loose or anything like that. That's a little trick that I learned a couple years ago. But anyway, I'm gonna get this side burnt and all mashed down there. That way it'll look nice and it won't be sharp. Won't cut the gloves, or if you remove this around in the machine, you ain't gotta worry about cutting yourself on it or anything like that. Okay guys, so now with now that I got all this cut and everything, you can kind of see how that works. So anyway, the way this works, if you're wondering, we'll attach our feed tube here, and it sucks sand through the bottom. Now that siphon tube that we got is a tube inside a tube, and the vent is around the tubes, which doesn't really work all that great. But with this one, it can suck sand up through here just like it's supposed to. And then you have a vent. That's why this is capped. That way sand can't get in here. you know, it can breathe, it can cycle. So anyway, I'm gonna get everything moved over here, get the bench grinder all freed up. We'll get this ground down, and well, we need to get our hose heated up, and then we should be able to go ahead, stick this on there, and get it all clamped up and ready to go. Okay guys, so we got this in here. Had to cut the grate there, but we got our desiccant filter filled up, the gloves back on. So we're gonna adjust the regulator some, dial it down a little bit, hook air up to this thing. Hopefully none of my fittings leak, and hopefully this thing picks up sand like it's supposed to, and it'll be a little nicer to use. Okay, so as y'all seen there, we did get a little bit of sandblasting done. If you can see on the bracket, we did get a little bit. One issue, this is too tall, it hits the door, but the gun here, I'll let my grandpa explain it a little bit.
Okay, it seems like what the problem is when you put this tip in here, if you're blasting with it, you can gradually take that tip. If it quits sanding, you can take the tip, you can start taking this loose, and it'll work for a minute, and then it'll quit. Now, my thinking is these fit too tight down around this nozzle right here. So it can't never get no sand come out of it. As you can see on the inside of this, it's tightened down pretty good against it because it's got a mark all around the inside of it. So that tells me that it's tightening down too tight. Sand can't come out of it. That's my thinking about the whole situation.
Okay, so I thought I'd let him kind of try to explain that a little better. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to Northern Tool, where we got this sandblast media that's all over everything. And I know they have some different style guns there. And one thing too, let me open this and I'll show y'all. So with the Harbor Freight guns, if you look where the sand comes in at, right here. So what it has to do is it has to travel up, make a hard 90 out. So I know these are a siphon feed. When air runs through here, it pulls the suction and pulls it out. Now, if that was laid back some, like the Northern Tool guns, if it lays back, it's a more cohesive path out of the gun. So we're gonna go pick one of those up. It's a little too late today because of Little Rock traffic. That's one bad thing about having to go down there. But we'll go down there in the morning, pick up a different gun, and then we'll come back. We'll get it installed in here, and we'll give it another go. But I will catch y'all in the morning. Alrighty guys, so we have made it here to Northern Tool, but we're trying to hurry. I don't know if y'all can see on the hood or on the mirror there. It's frozen. It's 30 degrees and raining. It's supposed to sleet for the next like 36 hours. So we're running here, see if they got one. If they do, we'll grab it, head back home, and we need to get a caulking gun. But anyway, we'll get that stuff, run back home, and I guess I'll see y'all whenever we get to installing the thing. Hopefully the weather doesn't get too bad, but there's no telling here in Arkansas. So I'm gonna run in here and I will catch y'all back at the house. Alrighty guys, so we just got home and it's a good thing. It took us 30 minutes to get there. It took us 2.5 hours to get back. So we're not gonna get to do any blasting today, but I will pick up with y'all when we can get back down to the shop. Alrighty guys, so it is the next day. We had some of these old boot cleats, but it's the only way I was able to get down here. But anyway, we got our new gun on here. We need to get the air fitting off the old one, get tightened in there, get our hose on, and we should be able to start testing this thing out. Alrighty guys, so as y'all seen there, we did get to do a little bit of sandblasting, as you can see on our track bar bracket there. Now, if y'all seen in that, the poof, that was our airline. So the clamp that was on there to begin with was having problems tightening it up. It's super tight, too tight, and we almost think it might be a little bit too big of clamp or something weird about it. But we're gonna see if we got another one, throw it on there, and try to do a little bit more blasting and see how our new gun works. Alright guys, so as you can see, it is nice and dusty in here. This thing leaks like a sieve. We turned these off because it was glaring on this, but you can see on the floor, I have a line across my shirt from this. Yeah, this thing leaks like a sieve. And we're getting some arcing off of these. I noticed it was arcing against my shirt and shocking me. But anyway, we did a fair bit of blasting, I will say. As you can see, this track bar bracket is just about, I'd call it halfway or so stripped. Maybe a little more. So the thing does great, I will say, but it leaks like a sieve. So we are decided to call it quits for today. For when it's getting pretty dusty in here. So we're gonna go sometime or another and get a caulking gun, and we have some. I think it's over there. Have some sealant, so we'll get the thing wiped down and try to seal it up a bit better. Yeah, this clear silicone. I believe this is clear silicone anyway. But yeah, clear. So we'll try to get it a little better sealed at some point. Let me shut the door. But we are we're making progress. So we've done more progress in the last hour than we have the last couple of days of trying to use the thing. So I would say that's a pretty good improvement. But guys, that's probably going to be a wrap for this video. I imagine it's getting pretty long by now. So I'm going to try to make my way up to the house because all this is very, very solid. And as you can see there, it's raining on top of that. So, yeah, you can see. And I got boot cleats on. So, I'm going to try to make my way up here. And then we'll outro this video. Alright guys, so I'm going back up here. But this is all ice. All through here. I mean, you can't see my tracks between here and here from those cleats. Same thing here. We busted this up with a crowbar. But anyway, guys, that's going to be a wrap for today's video. So with that being said, if y'all enjoyed today's video or found it helpful, please drop a like and comment down below. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope everybody has a great day.